Hi everybody, this is Vaders and KJ, and also your two Canadian Bont quad stars. That's right. Yeah, we love to rep Bont in Canada. I think we need some Bont Canadian flag shirts to figure that out.
Yes.
So I want to talk about something that's been really working for me, and that is how to attack the tripod. When you're attacking a tripod, whether it's a tripod by itself or a tripod with a fourth person on the side, a strong strategy on what to look at. And it's all about perception for me. When I started changing what it was that I was looking to do, I was finding that I was getting out earlier. So the first tip that I would talk about is, instead of trying to get through and to the other side, focus, number one, on getting into the center of that triangle. You don't want to focus on getting by the blockers. Just focus on your first step, which is get your ass into the center.
Busting inside.
Busting into the center of that. So how are you going to do that? Well, when you're looking at the triangle, and you'll see in the video, is that there's always going to be some links that you could attack. And my perspective is that three people trying to be coordinated will never be as fast as you as a jammer by yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. So it means not just attacking always at angles, but it means really side stancing your body around the triangle to try and find a link, and doing it faster and faster every time, so that eventually there will be a lapse and you can find that link. Number two is, I call it whack-a-mole. So have you ever played whack-a-mole where you're not thinking of an end goal, you're just seeing those moles pop up and you're hitting them? I'm looking at those links and I'm just whacking those links. Okay, and I'm not focused on going forward. If I find a link that takes me from lane 1 to lane 4, I'm going to crash through that link from lane 1 to lane 4. If it's from lane 4 to lane 1, I don't care. I'm just looking to crash links and get into the center of that triangle.
Yeah, I think as jammers, a huge part of us being successful is not being beat mentally. You'll hear blockers say a lot that they'll own the jammer, or they defeated the jammer, or they see that the jammer's like given up in that body language of like they feel like they can't get out or they can't get through. So this is a way to get around that, and to just think of like short-term goals and being successful in like a short-term level, rather than worrying about not getting around everyone and getting around the track and all of that. Just being in the moment and thinking of those little goals, the whack-a-mole kind of mentality of just what are you going to do in the moment to like make push it down the track.
Yeah. Number 3, which is one of my favorites, when you're exiting, you're going to find that once you get to the centers, things start to fall apart. Okay. And even if they turn, you're in the center of that. So you really have to start, once you get to the middle, there's not a lot of time to waste. Find an angle and go through it. But you'll find that once that triangle opens up, you have one moment to just burst out of it. Step 1, you see the triangle and you're trying to get into the center of it. I like to attack the middle first, so those back two people compress, and it makes it easier for me to go around and look for a link. Step 2, you see that link and you attack it hard, no thinking, just like whack-a-mole. Step 3, once you find yourself in the middle, look for that link, whack-a-mole on the way out, same thing. Number 1 is you're looking for those links. Number 2, playing whack-a-mole. If it means going side to side on the track, that doesn't matter, just don't go backwards. Side to side on the track, just find your angles, get into the center of that. If it gets you right through, perfect, but your goal is to get into the middle. And number 3, once you're in the middle of that, you have to move really quick, attack the brace or whoever's there, and start going at those angles. Again, think zigzag. That's the best way. Sometimes I see people pushing into a wall, like I've done it too when I'm tired, I do it. But just pushing into a wall instead of really just attacking at angles.
Angles.
So what I'm trying to do is, instead of focus on getting through to the other side, I'm trying to get into the center of this by looking for arms and connections over here. So when I'm coming through, I'm trying to step in, and I'm not looking to go forward, I'm going sideways into the links. Or if I get into the center, I'm going sideways into the links. And then holes will make themselves.
So a good thing to remember, because I know for me, I get tunnel vision when I'm jamming, and you kind of forget what you're doing maybe sometimes when you're tired. I think when I get to that tripod situation, I'm thinking I'm breaking in to break out.
Yeah.
So you don't want to break in and then be in the middle and be like, well, now what am I, like, you know, and like it's just kind of spinning around in the middle and hoping that something's going to happen. Yeah. You're breaking in solely to break out again.
Yeah, it's like breaking into a house. When you break into a house, you don't hang out and make a sandwich. No. Some people do, as seen on the news.
Usually not as successful. That's why they're on the news.
Yeah, they didn't make it out.
You don't want to be that guy.
And this is a tip that I've figured out for myself recently, is that if for if you've attacked a link, you'll find eventually it breaks down and that triangle is there. If you ever get to a place where, this is just my like Janna trick on the side, if you get to a place where that triangle's there and you see a small opening in lane 1, and they're still in a triangle formation, you could go for that hole, but just know that they're going to try and recycle and spin. What I like to do is usually, and you're going to see a video right here as well, is that usually when they're still in the triangle and you see that hole, they're going to present to you a link right here on your side. So if you can, hit that connection before you get through. So I always like to call, like, mess with their shit before they mess with your shit. Okay? So hit them before they hit you. And just know that that's what they're looking to do. So every time there's that little juicy hole, they will be looking to recycle. So you, again, you could take it, but it takes you 2 seconds to just shoulder into that connection that's there. It will fall apart and it will make it really hard for them to recycle. And last but not least, if you do end up getting high here and you see a space here, chances are she's going to rotate. So instead of going for the hole before you go, break the link and then go. That's it. That's the added bonus tip.
A little extra there for you.
A little extra.
And I've been watching Janna do this at practice, and it does work. So it's kind of exciting, and it's very nice of her to be sharing this with everyone.
I'd like to give a shout out to the other Bont Quad Stars because there's so many great skaters on this Bont Quad Star team, and I always look to them, and you know, obviously I love them all. We've got some really good skaters on there.
And they're always open to sharing. If you go and talk to any of us or them at any time, totally willing. There's no secrets in Derby.
No.
You know, there's not.
So if you see a Bont Quad Star near you, you'll recognize them by their Fcks.
Or their...
or this amazing Bont Quad Star apparel.
Yeah.
Jacket. They'll usually be hanging out at the Quad Star tent. Hit them up for some tips. Everybody's always willing to share. That's the beauty of this group.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to our channel. That's right. Do it.
Do it.
Subscribe.
Do it.
Do it now.
Do it now.
Have you done it? Did you subscribe?
There'll be more.
Don't leave.
We're going to
Subscribe.
share more. There's going to be more stuff.
Keep going. Subscribe. Now tell a friend. All right. Thank you. Remember to thank your teammates when you're asking them to help you shoot a video.